public domain. Now, a lot of people are like, what? Public domain? No, not a website domain, but there's free content out on the internet and it's called public domain. And you can use public domain as a part of your content marketing. So, in general terms, what that means is you have original works like books, music, lyrics, artists, and so on are all protected by copyright, right? Which means that it is illegal and it certainly ain't cool for you to be using somebody else's intellectual property as your own. So breaching copyright can cause you some legal issues along the way and some bad blood on and off line. But that being said, you know how when you were in school, the term plagiarism, right? When you were writing those papers and you thought you could just copy straight out well, I'm dating myself, encyclopedias, and you could do word for word, right? And then when you got your paper back, that teacher knew good to you well. That is not your language. I know how you write, and you don't write that well. So you didn't do too well in that case, right? So copying straight word for word, that's considered plagiarism. Now, unlike PLR, your private label rights kind of content or the pre-written content done for you, they give you the copyright allowances, right? You're licensed to use it. So as long as you hold a license, then you are safe to use the content as you see fit. Now, this is an easy resource for business owners who have high quality content without having to write it. But there are other ways to get free content, i.e., you don't have to pay somebody to write it, and it doesn't, and that's called public domain. So in public domain is an accumulation of work that is due to various reasons. Most of them particularly meaning that they were never copyrighted to begin with. So it predates what we call our copyright protection laws. The copyright may have been waived at some point in time. So that's another reason why it kind of falls into what we call the public domain. The copyright has expired without renewal. And in this case, like Disney's getting ready to have, believe it or not, a piece of content that's getting ready to expire next year, and they getting all choked up about it. That's another story for another day, but it has to do with little Mickey Mouse. Okay, we'll come back to that. But also content that is not eligible for protection under the copyright laws. So if content is part of the public domain, it is free to use as your own. So you can decide that that might be a place that you may want to go. So things that you might want to consider when it comes to using public content is ask yourself a couple of questions. Is the content labeled for public use in and of itself? You always want to double check. Does it have the expiration date? If it does, where is it? And has the owner maybe even donated that content to the public domain? So there's a couple reasons why you just want to make sure that it belongs in the public domain. The person who put it there had the right to even do so. Now, if you can't tell whether or not something is in the public domain, of course, you got to do a little bit of research on your site. So you can use websites that are out there. And there are some resource guides that are out there that are going to help you to do that as well. But public domain is full with unlimited supplies, even recipes, right? Artwork imagery, there's music that's out there. There are other written pieces of content that are waiting to be repurposed and recycled, because that's what we do with content marketing. And so it's a free resource that can provide a really great way for offering your customers without you